All right, welcome 8th graders to today's explainer. Get ready because today you are essentially stepping into the shoes of master navigators. We are going to master the Pythagorean theorem on the coordinate plane. Fun fact for you, ancient builders actually used these exact same mathematical rules to construct the pyramids. And I promise you, by the end of this, you'll be calculating distances just like an ancient master architect. Before we even plot a single point on a graph, let's talk about our guiding principle for today. Let all things be done decently and in order, from 1 Corinthians 14:40. True intelligence and understanding really start with an appreciation for this kind of divine order. Math isn't just some random collection of numbers floating around on a page. It's a completely beautiful, highly structured system. So here's our game plan for today. First, the digital map. Second, finding the hidden triangle. Third, let's solve together. Fourth, your turn to practice. And finally, education with morality. Kicking things off with part 1, the digital map. Think about how we actually move around in real life. We don't just walk in perfectly straight lines, right? We turn corners, we walk down hallways, we take the stairs. But sometimes you need to know the absolute direct path. That's where the coordinate plane comes in. It's essentially a digital map that lets us accurately measure those direct, as the crow flies, diagonal distances between 2 points. Now you might be wondering, why does finding this diagonal distance actually matter? Well, it's literally everywhere. Whether you're in construction, laying a brick foundation, calculating a game-winning soccer pass, or even programming a robot's precise movement across a room, the skill is absolutely crucial. Plus, it builds up your spatial reasoning and sets the entire foundation for advanced geometry and trigonometry. With just pure logic and a pencil, you can solve some really complex real-world spatial problems. Moving right along to part 2, finding the hidden triangle. Okay, let's reveal the secret geometry hiding right there on the map. We have a really simple 4-step rhythm for finding that distance. We are going to treat every single diagonal path like it's the hypotenuse of a right triangle. Step 1, find the change in x, which is your horizontal leg or the run. Step 2, find the change in y, the vertical leg or rise. Step 3, you square both of those numbers and add them up. Yep, that's your classic a squared plus b squared. And finally, step 4, find the square root to get your ultimate distance, c. Just 4 simple steps. So what's genuinely fascinating here is how clearly that invisible triangle just pops out the second we subtract our coordinates. Let's say our first point is at 2, 3, and our second point is way over at 6, 7. Your horizontal leg, the run, goes from an x of 2 to an x of 6. That's a length of 4. Your vertical leg, the rise, goes from a y of 3 to a y of 7. Also a length of 4. Plug that right into our equation. 4 squared plus 4 squared is 16 plus 16, which gives us exactly 32. And then we just take the square root of 32, and bam, we get 5.66. We just found an exact diagonal distance of 5.66 units, and we didn't even have to touch a ruler. All right, part 3, let's solve together. Let's roll up our sleeves and actually program some robot movements together. I'll walk you through it. Here's our first rapid-fire example. We need to move our robot from coordinate 1, 2 to 4, 6. Okay, change in x from 1 to 4, that's 3. Change in y from 2 to 6, that's 4. Following that rhythmic cadence we just talked about, we square them. 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16. Add them up, we get 25. Now we just need the square root of 25, which gives us exactly 5 factorial. See how clean and beautiful that mathematical logic is? Our robot moves exactly 5 units diagonally. Let's try a way bigger jump this time, from the origin 0, 0, all the way up to 5, 12. And the crucial takeaway here is that it absolutely does not matter how big the numbers get. Our 4-step map always leads to the right destination. Change in x is 5, change in y is 12. Square them, 5 squared is 25, 12 squared is 144. Add those together and you get 169. Take the square root of 169 and boom, it's 13. Honestly, excellent work. You are navigating these coordinates perfectly. Now, what happens if we throw a negative number into the mix? In example 3, point A is at 2, -1, and point B is at 5, 3. Well, the change in x from 2 to 5 is 3, and the change in y from -1 all the way up to +3, that's exactly 4 units. Notice how effortlessly the formula handles negative coordinates? We literally just focus on the absolute distance between the points. So we're right back to 3 squared plus 4 squared, which is 9 plus 16. And the square root of 25 brings us right back to a final distance of 5. Seriously, great job working through that grid with me. You're doing incredible work. Which brings us to part 4, your turn to practice. All right, here are your 5 homework assignments. Go ahead and take a second to write these down, or honestly, just grab a quick screenshot. You've got a really great mix to practice with here. Some start at the origin, a few have negative coordinates, and that 5th one, that's going to challenge you to estimate the distance since it won't be a perfect square. Use this time at home to practice creating order right out of abstraction. And finally, part 5, education with morality. Let's step back from the numbers for just a second. Look, mastering a digital map is an amazing skill, but it's kind of incomplete if we don't have the moral compass to navigate life itself. Education without morality, it just ends up causing hurt. Think about it. What is the point of being incredibly smart, calculating all these complex diagonal distances, but continuing to make bad choices that bring pain to yourself and others? We really need to intertwine our education with biblical morality. Take a look at this comparison. Romans 8, 6, and 7 promises profound peace of mind to everyone who keeps a spiritual mindset. That spiritual order, that is what truly secures your path and brings real peace. So I'm going to leave you with this thought-provoking question to ponder as we wrap up today's explainer. How will you apply both your smarts and your morality today? I really encourage you to always integrate your intellectual growth with your spiritual character. Thank you so much for joining me today, heroes. Keep mapping, keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.